Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the Falcons this season, you know that things have been pretty interesting so far. The team is sitting at a 2-2 record as they head into the Week 5 bye, and honestly, there's been a lot of speculation swirling around the team, especially concerning one of their key players, Kyle Pitts. When the season started, many wondered if Pitts would even make it through to this point without being traded away. The hype, the expectations, the doubts, everything was on the table. But here we are, and Pitts is still wearing that Falcons jersey, and what's even more surprising is how he's finally starting to show his true potential after a slow start. You see, Pitts, who is now in his 5th NFL season, has always been viewed as a phenomenal talent, one of the most gifted tight ends in the league. Drafted 8th overall in 2021, he was the highest selected tight end in NFL history, which shows just how much faith the Falcons had in his ability to become a game changer. And honestly, he's not just a prospect anymore. He's a player who's now beginning to realize that promise. But that wasn't always obvious in the early part of his career. There was a lot of talk about whether Pitts would live up to his draft status, especially considering the struggles the Falcons had been facing as a team. But now, with his recent performances, I think we're finally seeing the guy that Atlanta believed in from day one. This recent surge comes at a pretty critical juncture, not just for Pitts, but for the Falcons as a whole. Because, let's be honest, entering the final year of his rookie deal, there's a lot riding on Pitts' shoulders. The team has to decide whether to lock him up long-term or let him walk into free agency after the season. It's a high-stakes situation, especially considering his draft pedigree and the investment the Falcons made when they signed him to that 4-year, $32.9 million deal, with the team also exercising a $10.8 million club option for a 5th season. That's a significant investment for a tight end, and the Falcons are expecting big things in return. And Pitts, well, he's finally starting to deliver. Over the course of just 4 games, he's caught 20 passes for 205 yards and 1 touchdown. To put that into perspective, his start this season is his best since his rookie year, when he racked up 68 catches for over 10 yards. That's a pretty massive leap from the last couple of seasons, where he struggled with consistency and production. Right now, he's on a pace for around 872 yards this season, which, considering his talent, is only the beginning if he can stay healthy and continue on this upward trajectory. And that touchdown he scored in Week 4 against the Washington Commanders. That was more than just a score, it was a statement. A sign that Pitts is back, and he's ready to be a focal point in this Falcons offense. But let's not forget, Pitts has had his rough patches. Over the past 3 seasons, he's averaged about 42.6 receptions and roughly 542 yards per year, which, while decent, doesn't quite match the potential he showed coming out of Florida. There was a lot of criticism, especially after the 2024 season, which was a bit of a down year for both Pitts and the Falcons as a team. They missed the playoffs for the 7th straight year, and Pitts' performance was somewhat underwhelming. Naturally, this led to lots of questions about his future, about whether the Falcons would extend him, or if they might consider trading him to shake things up. In fact, back in July, there was a lot of speculation about this. Reports indicated that there hadn't been any serious negotiations for an extension, nothing concrete. The team was even considering the franchise tag, which could have cost around $16 million. But honestly, that seemed unlikely given the salary cap situation. Atlanta has to be strategic with their cap space, which is limited, projected to be just over $1 million over the cap in 2026, even with the league's cap increase. This means tough decisions lie ahead, whether that's with Pitts or veteran players like Kirk Cousins, who carries a hefty cap hit. And yet, amidst all this uncertainty, Atlanta's head coach Raheem Morris has remained steadfast. He's always trusted Pitts' talent and believed in his potential. In interviews, Morris has emphasized that the team saw the same flashes of brilliance in the offseason, and he wasn't surprised to see Pitts start to deliver now. Morris's confidence in Pitts is a testament to how much the coaching staff believes in him, and it's paying off. Pitts himself has been quite measured about the situation, hinting that he's letting his play do the talking, and that he's focused on helping the team win. Now, if we look at what happened recently, after a pretty embarrassing blowout loss to the Carolina Panthers in Week 3, where the Falcons were shut out 30-0, things started to turn around in Week 4 against Washington. And Pitts was at the heart of that comeback. He caught 5 passes for 70 yards, including a crucial 7-yard touchdown early in the third quarter that put Atlanta ahead 24-17. That score wasn't just about points. It was about momentum, morale, and Pitts asserting himself as a reliable target. His celebration after that touchdown was pretty memorable too, arms flung wide, chest puffed out, as if he was finally exorcising the demons of the past seasons. It's almost symbolic of a new chapter for Pitts, where he's not just a promising talent, but a proven contributor. This resurgence is not just good news for Pitts, it's vital for the Falcons' offense. Because when Pitts is involved and playing at his best, the entire attack opens up. Kyle Pitts' size, speed, and catching ability make him a matchup nightmare for defenses. When he's on the field, it creates more space for the other playmakers and helps Atlanta establish a balanced attack. And that's exactly what they need if they want to make a serious push this season. Consistent offensive production, a tight end who can stretch the field, and a player who can step up in big moments. But beyond this season, the big question remains, what's next for Pitts? Will the Falcons decide to lock him in long-term? Can he sustain this level of play and continue to develop into the elite tight end they envisioned? Those are questions that will likely be answered in the coming months. But what's clear right now is that Pitts is finally showing us the star potential that made him such a high draft pick. His recent performances not only boost his confidence, but also send a message to the entire league. The Falcons are serious about competing, and Pitts is a key piece of that puzzle. In the broader context of the NFC South, this is a game changer. The division has been fairly open, with teams like the Panthers, Saints, and Buccaneers all vying for supremacy. If Pitts continues to develop, and the Falcons' offense finds its rhythm, they could be on the verge of making a serious statement. Especially if their defense can maintain consistency, the Falcons could be a team nobody wants to face later in the season. And let's not forget, this is more than just about individual performances. It's about the Falcons building a culture of resilience and growth. Pitts' rise is a symbol of that, showing that even after some setbacks with hard work and the right mindset, players can turn things around. It's about trusting the process, believing in your talent, and staying focused on the bigger picture. The team's coaching staff, led by Morris, knows that Pitts' potential is immense, and they're counting on him to be a cornerstone for years to come. So, as we look ahead, what should Falcons fans be excited about? Well, for starters, Pitts' trajectory suggests that we might be witnessing the beginning of a new chapter, one where he becomes the consistent, explosive playmaker Atlanta needs. If he can stay healthy and keep improving, the sky's the limit. Furthermore, his recent resurgence could be the spark that ignites the entire offensive unit, leading to more wins, more highlights, and maybe even a playoff run that fans have been dreaming of for years. And this story is still unfolding, folks. The next few weeks will be crucial for Pitts and the Falcons. Can he keep this momentum going? Will the team rally around him and elevate their game? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure, Atlanta Falcons fans have plenty to be optimistic about right now. The talent is there, the effort is evident, and the chemistry is starting to click. The NFC South is about to get a lot more interesting, and Pitts is right at the center of that storm. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So as we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to emphasize that the Falcons are entering a pivotal phase. Pitts' performance could be a turning point, not just for his career, but for the team's future ambitions. The front office has a lot to consider, especially with the upcoming offseason and the potential salary cap challenges, but right now, the focus is on what Pitts can do on the field. And if he keeps this up, he might just secure a long-term deal that rewards his talent and effort. What's your take, though? Are you convinced Pitts is finally on the rise? Do you think the Falcons have what it takes to contend for the playoffs this year? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear from every one of you. Your opinions matter so much to us and to the future of the Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back very soon with more updates, analysis, and everything you need to stay ahead of the curve in the NFL world. So stay tuned, keep supporting your team, and let's see how this story unfolds in the weeks to come. Because if Pitts keeps playing like this, the Falcons might just be on the brink of something special. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Falcons.